is Nadia, and today I am going to talk to you about a very pressing topic, but first I want to start off with a story. For this story, I just want to reiterate that I'm not promoting underage drinking at all. I'm just telling a personal story that has happened to me before. So, when I was 18, graduating high school, I went to a friend's graduation party. And while we were at this graduation party, his mom decided to let us, have fun, let loose. So she wanted to give us the chance to drink alcohol in a safe space. However, when she realized that she saw us drinking, she decided to take all of our keys and lock them in her safe. And then she had us each call our parents. In that phone call, we had to tell them, hey, I'm spending the night here, this is what's happening. And then she spoke to them on the phone as well. As that was a scary situation, I realized she probably was acting in on the best interest of us because she didn't want us to get in trouble. But when we were having a good time and hanging out, we all started to get on the topic of, we're 18 years old. Why aren't we allowed to do this legally? Everyone else is allowed to do this legally. We're allowed to get married right now if we wanted to. One of our friends was going off to the military and he was 18, so why weren't we allowed to have a simple drink? And that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, the legal drinking age. According to the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, the national minimum drinking age was established in 1984 and requires that states prohibit people under age 21 from purchasing or publicly possessing alcohol beverages as a condition of receiving state highway funds. Prior to 1984, the minimum age was actually based on a state-by-state purpose. Today, some people believe that the drinking age should go back to 18, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. We're going to go over the pros and the cons of why this should or should not happen. In regards to pros for changing the legal drinking age to 18, one of them would be less minors from age 18 to 20 having DUI charges. Some people might argue that one mistake that somebody made at a young age shouldn't affect their entire future, especially if they're a promising candidate for something really great and successful. The second one would be college students from age 18 to 20 would be more likely to seek medical attention, especially if they're badly impaired, without the fear of legal, parental, and academic troubles. I have personally seen it myself before, where somebody is so violently sick and they're refusing to go to the hospital because they don't want this on their record of being a minor and being really drunk. The next pro would be the decreased amount of fake IDs that are distributed. A 2023 article from IDscan.net by Julian Kosman states that 12.5 freshmen had fake IDs, and it increased to 32% of freshmen having it by the end of their sophomore year. The next pro would be allowing for consistency in laws. Kind of as I was mentioning before, 18-year-olds are allowed to join the military, they're allowed to get married, they're allowed to vote, they're allowed to go to doctor's appointments without parental supervision, and they're even allowed to go to jury duty, but they're not allowed to have a drink. So changing the age to 18 would allow more consistency within laws. Now, we're going to go on to the cons. So for con number one, the brain is not fully developed. So according to the Government of Western Australia's Department of Health's website, the human brain is still developing well into the early 20s, and alcohol can negatively impact problem-solving skills, performance, body, mood, and mental health. Another con would be more people are going to be driving under the influence of alcohol because they're legally allowed to do so. A 2024 article from MAD, which is the Mothers Against Drunk Drivers website, states that teens are twice as likely to get drunk faster than adults, but they don't know when to actually stop. This would mean that if we didn't enforce the age as 21, more accidents involving drunk teens would be occurring. Another con would be just the increase of substance abuse due to the lack of brain development. Another con would be the increase of peer pressure in that early to late teens age group, especially 18 to 20 in college. You see people saying, oh, come have a drink with us, come do all this with us, but that person might not technically be ready to do so. So they're feeling just too much pressure to where they're gonna have a strong influence based on other people. And lastly, the lack of life experience and responsibility to make good choices. Kind of goes along with the whole brain development thing that 18-year-olds have just not experienced enough to truly make good decisions on whether or not they can be getting behind the wheel even after having one drink of alcohol. So here's the end of our discussion today. We went over the background history, some pros and cons of changing the legal age to 18 in terms of alcohol consumption. And regardless of what you're doing, I just want to say that be responsible. There are so many accidents that happen in the world due to irresponsible drinking. And the biggest thing is don't be naive, don't be irresponsible. If you're gonna go drink, have a sober friend, or what I used to call a sober mom, or call a family member, tell them, hey, I'm not feeling too hot, I'm really drunk right now, can you please come help me? If you let somebody know what you're doing, you're more likely to be safe and less accidents are gonna happen. Well, that's the end of my talk, and have a good night.